Alright, here I'm going to do a video basically kind of going through the settings of everything. Mainly the Road King. I've got a lot of questions about, how do you have your channels set, the front and the back, what tube configurations and stuff I have set up for each channel, which I think are pretty much all the same actually. But I kind of mess around with that a little bit. I know in the other video I kind of went through the amp gizmo, and I think the thing I didn't make very clear is that the Road King, as those of you who have one have probably noticed, is it's hard to get the volume of the clean channel loud enough to match the volume of the dirty channels 3 and 4, and without having to turn the master and the gain up really loud on the clean channels, which ends up making it sound not so clean. The way that I've figured out how to, or at least the way that I deal with that, is I will basically on a clean patch, which I usually have, like on mine, it's just have 2 clean patches here, and what I do is I basically utilize the solo switch, which is right here, and as you can kind of see, or maybe not, the volumes of the solo and the output are the same. When you use the solo, it basically is like a secondary output volume. So when you're using the solo, this output has no effect on the volume. It's basically like main volume, solo volume. So on the clean or the dirty channel, and they're both set the same. They're both like right about, I don't know, a little about 8 o'clock, both of those. So depending on where I'm playing, it's usually, this is really low. I mean, this amp is so ridiculously loud, it's not even funny, but if I need more volume, I have to turn these up equally, because I do have them pretty much well set volume wise for each channel, so that they match really well. Because the thing that I hated about the clean channels is that for the dirty channels I had to have my master volumes way down, and if you have the Road King, it's really nice to kind of push this master volume up. It really gives it a lot more warmth, and it kind of makes it a little beefier on each channel 3 and 4. So yeah. So anyway, going back to the amp gizmo made by RJM Music. Super great people. Have to say, I met them at NAMM. They were really sweet, and helped me out figure out, or tried to help me out, because they didn't. Anyway, there was an issue with there was like a popping noise going from the channels, and what it ended up being was, because I'm using that solo button for the clean channels, going from the dirty, not using that, to that, it would cause it to kind of pop. And it's not really that bad, and I don't really use it enough, go from dirty to clean enough in the middle of a song to really worry that much about it. But we've been communicating back and forth, and hopefully we can kind of figure out how to resolve that. And I had that little 2-minute drill video talking about how to use the amp gizmo, and basically it's so simple. I mean, you basically, there's no programming on the G system that has to be done. You basically say, you know, what patch you want set, and then you just set your channels. This is channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. I believe, I'm not really sure what these are. I know that's the solo. That's probably maybe a loop or the effects loop or a reverb. What's the other one? I think that's about it. So there may be one to like a tuner mute or something. But again, all I use it for is just changing the channels and engaging the solo button. But it's awesome. Like, okay, let's say I decide on this patch I don't want to do a clean, I want to do a dirty. So I want channel 3. So I need to turn off the solo and hit store. So now when I go to channel 1, which is clean, and I go to channel 2, which was clean, but now it's dirty. And then I decide, well, that's not right, I need to go ahead and set it back. And that's it. Clean channel 1, and channel 2 is clean again. So yeah, it's probably one of the nicer things I kind of splurged on, just because I got tired of lugging that around. I mean, as you can kind of see, it's huge, and I mean, you know, it's like the length of, it's like longer than the G system. Can't really see it, but it's massive, and I chose to hate it right off the bat. So anyway, with that said, my BB settings, gain almost damn near off, treble and bass around 1 o'clock, volume is pretty much straight up, a little past noon. OCD volume is around 2 o'clock. Drive, you know, as you can kind of see, and tone, as you can see. There's a HP and an LP, which I believe stands for high pass, low pass, and I've got it on high pass. It gives it a little brighter sound. Keeley compressor, got the sustain set, you know, just slight. It's real transparent pedal, but it squashes the clean signal just enough to make me happy. So level almost all the way up. Attack is set pretty high, and or low, as it in other words, I think shorter here is quicker. Clips it right off the bat. This one's a little more liberal, and the trim is kind of like an EQ. You just kind of have to mess around with that to get the desired effect.